Hello. In this video, we're going to be going over problems 4 through 8 from the North Carolina Released Common Exam for Math 2. You can find more information about this common exam and other common exams at this website right here at DPI. Let's get started. 21 students at a school have an allergy to peanuts, shellfish, or both. 14 students at the school are allergic to peanuts. 12 students at the school are allergic to shellfish. How many of the students are allergic to both peanuts and shellfish? So we start out with a probability problem. I'm going to highlight some key information. We have 21 students that have an allergy to peanuts, shellfish, or both. 14 students are allergic to peanuts. 12 students are allergic to shellfish. How many of the students are allergic to both peanuts and shellfish? Now, this problem should make Venn diagrams pop into your head right when you see it. So, I've already prepared a Venn diagram. I'm going to let the red represent peanuts, and the blue represents shellfish, which means this purple shade in the middle represents both peanuts and shellfish. Now, the problem is we've got 21 students total, but it says that 14 are allergic to peanuts and 12 are allergic to shellfish. And if we add 14 plus 12 together, we get 26, which means that some have to be allergic to both. To figure out how many, we simply subtract 21 from 26 to get 5. So there's 5 people or 5 students that are allergic to both peanuts and shellfish. It's as simple as that. Here's another probability problem. Events M and N have probabilities such that the probability of N is 0.4, the probability of M is 0.4, the probability of N is 0.28, the probability of M or N is 0.56, and the probability of M and N is 0.12. Are event M and event N independent? Alright, so highlight key information. All this stuff in here may be key information. I went a little too far there. Okay, and then the fact that we're looking for whether M and N are independent is very important. Okay, so we know two events are independent. Well, we know if two events are independent, then when we multiply them together, we get the combined probability. So if they're independent, then that means the probability of M and N is equal to the probability of M times the probability of N. Okay, in this case, we know what the probability of M and N is. It's 0.12. All right, so when we multiply 0.4 times 0.28 together, let me go ahead and put those zeros in there because they do kind of help you see what's going on there. All right, when we multiply these two together, we should get 0.12 if they are independent. Well, it turns out we don't get 0.12, we get 0.112. Okay, so we don't know if they're equal there, but here we do definitely know that they are not equal. So that means that the answer is B. Which expression is equivalent to 3x to the fifth plus 17x cubed minus 1 plus parentheses negative 2x to the fifth minus 6 close parentheses? All right. This one is a simple polynomial problem. You just have to stack your polynomials and combine like terms. Since this is plus, no signs change. I'm just going to move stuff from over here underneath polynomials that are like terms, or not polynomials. Okay, I want to move these things underneath like terms so I can combine like terms. All right, so this is x to the fifth. This also is x to the fifth, so I'm going to put the negative 2x to the fifth right there. This is just a number, so I'm going to put it under just the number. Okay, so now that I've done that, I can ignore all this stuff over here. It's just like it's not there. Alright, so finishing right here, when I combine like terms, negative 2x to the fifth, when I combine that with 3x to the fifth, I just get x to the fifth. This plus 17x to the third has nothing to combine with, so it stays the same. And negative 1 minus 6 is negative 7. And it's as simple as that, just combining like terms. You didn't even have to stack it if you can just see where the like terms are. Okay, so uh, that one right there matches up with A. Okay, which graph displays the function f of x equals 2x plus 3 times x minus 2? All right, so for this one, you can do this one a couple of different ways. Since this test is calculator active, you could simply plug this into y equals and then see which one matches the graph that's on the calculator. All right, I'm going to do this one by hand because it's not really all that bad. In order to start figuring out where this is obviously a quadratic that's been factored. I want to start by finding the zeros. So I'll start by setting that equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 2x plus 3 times x minus 2. All right, and so since we have two things multiplied together that give me 0, I can use the zero product property to say that either 2x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. These will find the 2 points where it crosses the x-axis. All right, so I subtract 3 from both sides in this one. So I get 2x is equal to negative 3. Divide both sides by 2. And I get x is equal to negative 3 halves. That's one of my zeros. The other one I'm going to add 2 to both sides in this equation. And I get x is equal to 2. That's my other 0. So I'm looking for a graph that has zeros at x equals negative 3 halves and x equals 2. So this one, my 0 is at 2. So it's not going to be this one. And this one, the 0 right here is x equals negative 3 halves. And this one is at 2. So that one may be the answer. I don't know if it is or not yet. Let me look at my other ones. This one down here, same deal. We have a 0 at negative 3 halves and a 0 at 2. So it's either C or B right so far. D, this is a 0 at negative 2. So that one's not going to be it either. All right, so between C or B, how do we tell which one it is? Well, the difference in these two graphs is one is turned up and the other one's turned down. To figure out which one it is, we need to look at the leading coefficient. If the leading coefficient is positive, my quadratic is going to be like a smiley face. It's going to be turned up. If it's negative, it's going to be turned down. To find my leading coefficient, I just have to multiply the two leading terms. 2x times x is 2x squared, which is positive, so that means my answer has to be B. Number 8. The sum of two numbers is 24. The sum of the squares of the two numbers is 306. What is the product of the two numbers? So once again, highlighting key informations, we've got the sum of two numbers is 24. The sum of the squares of the two numbers is 306. What's the product of the two numbers? All right, so this one's one of those classic number problems that's just pure numbers messing with numbers. We have two unknowns here. So I'm going to let x and y be my unknowns. That's going to be the two numbers. All right, so the sum of the two numbers is 24. So if I add the two numbers together, I get 24. Okay, the sum of the squares of the two numbers is 306. So if I square the two numbers and add them together, I get 306. So I need to figure out what x and y are by using one of the methods I know. Now, since you can think about this a couple different ways, some of you may recognize this as the equation of a circle, and so the answer would be the intersection between a line and a circle. I don't think we went over that too much in my classes, so I want to use the tried and true method of substitution. So I'm going to solve the top equation for y, and then I'm going to plug it back into the second equation where the y was. All right, so to solve the top equation for y, I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I get y is equal to negative x plus 24. Now I'm going to substitute this in where the y is right here. Okay, so when I do that, I get x squared plus negative x plus 24. That's going to be squared equals 306. All right, the reason why that is squared, I took just the y out, and I'll plug this in exactly where it was. All right, now, in order to square negative x plus 24, you can't just square the individual parts. You have to multiply negative x plus 24 times negative x plus 24. So I'm going to do that out here to the side. Negative x plus 24 times negative x plus 24. All right, negative x times negative x, that's x squared. Negative x times positive 24 is negative 24x. 24 times negative x is negative 24x. And 24 times 24 is, let's see, 576. So when I combine like terms, I get x squared minus 48x plus 576. That's 48 right there. All right, so now I'm going to put that back in right here where this was. I just simplified this is all I did there. So I get x squared plus x squared minus 48x plus 576 is equal to 306. So now I'm going to subtract 306 from both sides to get this quadratic equal to 0. And at the same time, I'm going to combine like terms over here. I'm just kind of combining two steps. Combining like terms and getting it equal to 0 into one step. So x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. So it's going to be minus 48x. Okay, and then 576 minus 306 is 270. All right, so now I'm going to factor this side in order to figure out what my x's could be. Okay, so you could use quadratic formula if you wanted to. I see that this has a GCF of 2, so I'm going to go ahead and factor that out. So I get x squared minus 24x plus 135 is equal to 0. All right, and so I'm going to try to factor this. So to factor it, I'm going to find my factors of 135. Okay, so that's 1 and 135. 2 does not go into 135. 3 does because 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9, and 3 goes into 9. So 3 goes into 135 45 times. Okay, 4 doesn't. 5 goes into it 27 times. And then 9 goes into it 15 times. So I'm looking at factors of 135 that give me 24. And I see those factors right here. 9 plus 15 is 24. Okay, so we've got 2 times x, not plus, it's going to be minus. So 2 times x minus 9 and x minus 15. The reason why they're both minus is they have to add up to be a negative and multiply together to be a positive. All right, so that means that either x minus 9 is equal to 0 or x minus 15 is equal to 0. So that means either x is equal to 9 or x is equal to 15. Okay, so I get two different things here, and I've got to check and see which one will work. So I need to find my y values for both of them first. So if I plug this one back in for x up here, 9 plus y is equal to 24, I figure out that y has to be 15. Here, if I plug in 15 for x, so 15 plus y is equal to 24, well then in that case, y would have to be 9. So my points are either 9, 15, or 15, 9. In both cases, the product is going to be the same. 9 times 15 or 15 times 9 is the same thing, and that gives you 135 as the product of your two numbers. So the answer is going to be C. All right, well, I hope this helped. If you have any questions on any of this, feel free to comment, and have a good one.